and today I have met a wonderful and eclectic musician, visual artist, probably philosopher too, Zio, also known as Voider. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Zio Voider.
That's his last name.
Yeah.
Zio Voider.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your sound installations and creating your own equipment that you were just sharing?
Well, the installations are a composite of different found objects that come out of the world that we live in. So there's a lot of industrial parts, machinery, and this was more or less inspired by in a lot of indigenous people expression of their music, especially Africa was very deeply moved by where they would take elements around them in the forest and in their natural environment and create instrumentation from that. Later on, seeing how when civilization encroached on their world, so they took found objects and created instruments out of that. And for instance, a cooking oil tin can was then transformed into a body of an instrument, with a string, type of setup. That was an interesting thing that I saw them do. They kind of represented the world at the moment. So that's what I was incorporating. I wanted to be expressive about the world that I live in because I could, according to James Baldwin, the author said the purpose and intent of the artist is to record and express the world and the times that they live in. You're recording about your experience. So that's part of kind of why I do what I do with that. So the elements are laid out together, joined together in a setup to where it's not just acoustically, there's also transducers, pickups that pick up the sound they're attached because there's a lot of resonance and other tones that you wouldn't normally hear through the ear acoustically. So then that gets put through electronic devices that brings out the modulation, there's color, texture, all sorts of other things. So using electronics combined with that also is representative of the world that we live in because it represents technology.
So you've been getting into this and doing this for some time. Who are I mentioned John Cage and you smiled.
Yeah.
Who's been your inspirations?
There was Harry Parch as well too. He built a lot of stuff that was wood based and but to explore different intonation. Ivor Derrig, who also did microtonal stuff. It's been connected with the Sonic Arts Gallery. Jonathan Glazier heads that. And so there was a number of those people that were inspiring because they would create incredible sonic machines that did various things. They very much experimented, again, with found objects. And sometimes they had different techniques of how they were implementing sound. But my sound sources were up front in the beginning of taking the found objects and then saying it's electronics. Some of the other people really utilized MIDI to where their triggering system would be a different setup of keyboards or buttons or switches or pulleys that would go through and activate sound, rack-mounted sound, voice duplicators or gear, loop, and so. But I stuck with my sound, the sound elements here because I could always interchange them out. God, who else? I know there was some numbers in some of the books that I can't remember. It goes on and on, but they were inspirational.
Yeah. So you're working on a project that'll be at Bread and Salt, probably.
There's talks about doing that again. they're wanting us to come there and do that. NTC is a possibility.
Well, so you'll pretty soon have your websites back up. Can you kind of see? This is a John Cage moment right here.
Yes.
Right? Where could people go to check out what you're doing when it's up?
Well, when it's up, it'll be on two websites. One deals with the legacy and the roots of what I was doing, and that began in the 70s and into the 80s. It was noise, where the bass root was industrial rhythm and noise, where noise was also used as a kinetic sound movement. And after that, it goes into more of the next various steps in development from there on into the 90s and then into the 2000s, which incorporated visual and sonic synthesis during the cyberpunk period, and also there was part of working with DJs because of the kinetic pulse, with incorporating kinetic body movement, as we know, as dance, and that fascinated with, the interacting with people. And
do you have a web address?
Web address, there will be, the legacy site would be Zeovoider, or Zovoider, Zeovoider, dash NZ for noise. Whoops, here we go. More sonics.
You got to get to that website.
Yeah, and the other website, the one that encompasses all, will be ZOVOIDER dash Omni. Omni being all-encompassing parts of what I went into further. So,
great.
So that's what they'll be. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you've mainly been in Southern California doing this?
Right.
So you're a Southern California native.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And what about those? You've got some very eclectic jewelry that you're wearing.
Yeah.
And you've been vegan for 40 years.
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed your age, sir.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe
I hit the 7th decade.
Plant-based.
Yeah. So
that's great.
It works.
Well, thank you very much. We will, and I'll provide links. Really looking forward to checking out your work, and I know some friends in the San Diego music scene who'll be interested to watch and see what's going on.
All right.
Okay.
That'll be great. Thank you very much for doing this.
Here we are from Obi Peoples.